Alright, quite a nice evening tonight. Not that cold. I've got my microphone, just testing it to make sure it works. Yes, I've got the Begode Hero. Just have a nice ride. It's nice and quiet tonight, so which is good. So, first impression. It's high up. So this wheel is quite high up. I'm like, blimey, hell, it's way high up on the ground. So it feels weird because you're so high up than the usual wheel. I would say a little bit higher than the Emotion, slightly higher than the V11. Yeah. So the knobby wheel is not that nimble. So it's kind of like, yeah, you can feel it, and it's not that great on the torque. So, whoa. Blimey, the knobby tyre is not that great. Going around the corner. Yeah, don't like this tyre. Yeah. It's not that nimble, the knobby tyre. Just, yeah. Yep. Okay, so I have to get used to this. Feel a lot different. You got the tyre going along, sound like the Sherman, but it's not the Sherman. It's high up. You can feel the suspension. As soon as you hit the bump, you can hear the knock. So that knock is there. Yeah. So basically, when it bounces back up, it hits the top of the suspension, so you can hear that little knock. Yeah. Well, the torque is not that, it feels heavy. The torque is not that great. This wheel feels heavy when you slow down, or when you just push off. So when you push off, it feels a bit heavy. But when it's going, the weight feels like the Sherman. And let's do that again on a speed bump. So it's nice and smooth at the moment. Now I'm going over the speed bump. Yeah, it's different. It hasn't got that suppression, so it's not that great when the feel when you go over the speed bump. I don't know if you can hear the noise. There's that. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's very bouncy. Oh, see that? It went straight. Okay, lick straight over this bump. Yeah, you can hear the knocking. The knocking is not that great. That knocking noise. It's comfortable. Oh, the handling is not that great. The nimbleness is not there. Just have to get used to it. That tyre, it's got its mind of its own, and it just pulls you away. It may be because it's a new tyre, hasn't worn in yet, but the feel on the wheel, it doesn't, no, the tyre definitely is no good on this wheel. It pulls you away. Let's go and test the nimbleness of this machine. Ooh. I must say the light is not that bright on this. Now this tyre is no good. It's struggling. So basically, it's the nimbleness is not there. So the turning on a knobby tyre, it's sort of like takes you off course. I don't find it quite under control. So this wheel is definitely the tyre is definitely no good. Yeah. You can see I'm struggling, you can tell I'm riding this smooth. Oh god, that's totally it feels heavy. Somehow it feels heavier than the Abram. When you ride this, I don't know, it just feels heavy. This could be the power, the torque is not there. So, yeah, the delivery, power delivery is not, just feels heavy. Yeah. Oh. So the feel on this is struggling. It's more tiring because I have to keep controlling the machine. It seems to stay away, and I have to keep hold of it and controlling it all the time. So you can't really relax your legs, and it's very tiring. It's a shame. I think it's to do with the tire. Definitely, this tire is definitely not for this wheel. I don't see the point of having this tire on this wheel. When you try to ride it, it doesn't feel right. Just don't feel right. when you ride on the wheel, you just want to go smooth and easy to maneuver, and nimbleness is all there. It's you want to have fun, you know, with the wheel. This wheel is not that fun. Let's do some jumping tests and see what it's like. Ooh. Try slow. So jumping is not that great. We have to time it right. But that sound, the suspension, you know, it's either too much over or too much under. You can't really get it quite accurately. Styling. Oh, see that? Oh. And I'm struggling turning as well. So turning is why. Oh, tiring. Jeez, my legs are tired already. Just trying to keep this under control. Because it keeps staying away. Oh. I won't bother jumping that high. So, yeah. So this is not a trail wheel. Let's go and do some road riding. Let's see how that feels. The light is not that bright. It's not very bright. So I'm just going to so that's the bright. And you can't move the light up, it's fixed to the ground. So it just points to the ground, so it doesn't point far away, so you can't ride fast because you can't see what's ahead of you. So you might need a torch to do that. Let's go on the road and see what it's like. Wow. The suspension is there. It ironed out all the little bumps, but when it comes to a big bump, it's struggling, you know, it knocks. Damn. No. Okay. a comfortable speed at 54, 55, 57. Riding on the road is not too bad, but you still have to watch out for the big bump. That suspension sort of bounces you off, and it doesn't feel great. You know, it just pops you up like an ejector seat. So that is quite dangerous, really. You can damage the wheel. You can keep up with traffic, no problem, but I won't go for speed bump. Yeah, the cornering is not that great on this wheel. Not good at all. The cornering is horrible. It's just like the S18, when you have a knobby tire in it, it feels horrible. Okay, yeah, it's not bad at high speed, which is quite good, doing 55 kilometers. 57, you can cruise on that, it's no problem. Yeah, 55, 57 is quite nice. But oh, that bump, oh my god, it's horrible, that bump. So this is the Begode Hero. So this is the first ride impression. And the tire needs to be changed. What I'll do is I'm going to change it to a nice road tire and see how it feels on this wheel. So for the moment, this wheel, the tire is no good. And the suspension is a bit crappy as well. It's not that great. It can take all the little bumps, but not the big bumps. As soon as you hit the big bump, that knocking noise is horrendous. and that rebound, it's like an ejector seat. It bounces you off. Ooh. So you got to be very careful when you go for a bump. Although there's a suspension. So let's test that again. Coming up this bump. Oh, yeah. That extra spring is horrible. And the carving. Oh, no, don't feel right. The carving is horrible. Oh my God. Turning this corner, U-turn, yeah, it's turning on the edge of the tire, so that's why you need to sort of like constantly controlling it because it wobbles and it takes you off course. Let's carve again. Nah. Oh, don't feel right. Nah, no good. The carving is horrible. Yeah. So this is the Hero. It's got power, but it hasn't got that torque. When you push off, that torque, it feels heavy, the wheel. If you've got a lot of torque, when you push off, the wheel feels light. But this one, it feels heavy, okay? It just feels heavy. Yeah, the display is fantastic, okay? The display, so we'll go into that. We'll go through the whole machine and explain what's good and what's bad about this wheel. Hello, I'm Kevin. Let's talk about I'm going to do a quick review. Well, kind of quick on the Begode Hero and what I think of it after riding it for quite a few miles and spend some time with it, you know, real life riding it. So let's go to the good thing about the Hero, okay? Let's take a closer look. There you have it. Now, first thing, the good thing about this wheel is the display. Okay, you got to give it credit on the display. So the display is fantastic. You can see very clearly what the mileage is and the battery indicator, which is fantastic. And the second thing is the handle. It's a lovely handle. It's very strong. The reason being is when you press it, it comes up and that stops the wheel totally. So it will just cuts the wheel totally, which I don't really like because, yeah, but we're going to that in a minute. So it comes out like this as a grab handle and it's very strong. And when you press it again, extend it, and this is the highest you go. And it's very strong handle, very strong. The reason being is it's one solid rod. So the rod is the length of the suspension down here, the suspension holder. So having one solid rod, the handle seems to be very solid. So you see it's very strong. You can even lift the wheel up with this. And yeah, you can actually feel it's very solid and strong. Handles, and well, the mud guard seems to do a good job. The mud guard is good, and the stand is good. The back stand. Yeah, that is about it really. So that is the good thing about this Begode Hero. Now let's go into the things I don't like. Okay, first of all, the tire. The tire is not good on this wheel. This is a roll wheel. Having the knobby tire on it, it makes the wheel not very nimble and unstable. It's got a mind of its own with a knobby tire on this wheel, because as you turn corner or carve corners, it's constantly fighting against the wheel to keep it straight and keep it smooth. And afterward, you get very tired. So you get a lot quicker tire on your legs riding this knobby tire. The other thing is the pedal. The pedals are great, but there may be some missing clip that we didn't get, because it doesn't go up. So it just drops back down. So whatever you do, it just drops back down. And that is quite annoying. The pad, they're okay. As you can see, I just put it in a slightly angle, adjust it to the weight which I feel it rides better. Obviously, when you do that, it doesn't go in line with the shape of the shell. It's supposed to fit in there perfectly, but when you do that, it doesn't feel right. So the angle is different. Yeah. And also the suspension. The suspension is horrible. This suspension is horrible. It's like an ejector seat. As soon as you hit a high-speed bump, it knocks. It's either knock the bottom or knock the top. What I mean by knocking is when the suspension goes down, if it goes down too far, you hear a knocking noise on the bottom. And when it bounces back up, you can also hear the knocking on the top as well. So it doesn't feel that great. The sound doesn't sound that great. It does its job when you go over little small bumps and pothole, and it takes it very nicely. But if you hit a big hole, that rebound it's kind of eject you off. And if you go at high speed, you don't want to do that. Okay, so you still have to be very careful with this suspension. It's not the best suspension, as I say. It's a cheap suspension. It's not good. And it leaks air when you take the valve out. It just leaks air. So if you want to put like well, I put about 250 psi in there, which I have to pump up to 300, and as soon as you let it out, it goes down to about 250 psi. Not great, the suspension. The lights. Lastly, the lights. The lights is horrible. You know, like a typical Godway of Begode. This light shines on the floor, and if you're doing high speed, you won't be able to see what's ahead of you at night. So it's quite bright. It's quite bright. You can see what's on the floor, but you won't be able to see what's ahead because it shines down on the floor. Okay. To do that, you might have to adjust the pedal height to probably +2 or 3, so that it sort of lifts the light up a bit. So that is the what I think of the Begode. And let's look at my video and see what you think.